If you're short on time this season, the holidays are getting very close, and you still want to give your people in your life, the people that you care about, something that lets them know that you care, that feels meaningful, but you're running out of time, then in today's video, that's what I want to give you. I want to give you some of my favorite meaningful gifts that I like to give that you can do last minute. You can do them this weekend. You can do them a couple of days before Christmas if you're really strapped for time. And also these work well if you are on a budget this year and funds are a little tighter. So for me, a meaningful gift is not about the size of the gift. It is not about the money that you spend. It's not about how elaborate the gift is. It's really the thought and the intention behind the gift. It is, what you put into it, what the moment means for you. And a meaningful gift to me is really about helping you create a special moment or, capturing a moment in time or helping you give someone a certain feeling, whether that be comfort, a moment of pause, maybe it's laughter and joy. A meaningful gift really helps you to evoke some of these more sentimental emotions. And they don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be elaborate. They don't have to be anything fancy or grand in any way. Sometimes it's the simpler ones that really mean the most to people. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 7 meaningful gift ideas that you can put together in an afternoon that are inexpensive and it doesn't take up a ton of time to create. Some of them are a little more involved than others, but not so involved that you couldn't easily do it in an afternoon. So I'm going to share with you things that I've gifted this year and things that I often come back to year after year. I do love to give people meaningful gifts, usually things that I have made or I've put together in some way. And a lot of the gifts that I have done in the past are a little more involved and they do require a little bit more preparation time. So next year I will share that. I'll hopefully put that together in November so that you have more time to prepare and to put these gifts together. But for now, we are very close to the holidays and some of you are probably still struggling to find the time to put something together. Maybe it's hard to get out to go shopping. Maybe, you don't have a lot of money and you want to let somebody in your life know that you care. I think these gifts will give you a good starting place. Okay, so gift 1 is the Candid framed photo. This is one of my favorites. I give this as a gift to family members year after year. You can almost be guaranteed that you're going to get some sort of framed photo from me. Just as an example, I have the light on today. I have an artificial light on because it is so stormy here. So there's probably a glare, but this is just, a picture that was taken of my son who was born on Christmas Day in a simple little frame, and it comes out year after year at Christmas. You don't have to do a professional photo. I think candid photos are always nice. But this is another one that I've done. This is one that I've kept for myself. This year I have done framed photos for family members as always. I think if you have young children, especially people like grandparents or aunts and uncles or maybe cousins or close friends really enjoy getting framed photos of the kids or updated pictures. But if you don't have young kids anymore, I still think this is a very thoughtful gift that you could give somebody, a candid moment, maybe shared between a friend or a close relative or someone that you love. Or if you have children with children, if you're a grandparent and you have some photos in your camera roll that are just kind of sitting there collecting dust, you're not sure what to do with, you could easily have those printed. This year I use Staples. I don't know if there's a Staples in the US. That might be just a Canadian thing. They do have same day printing, which is really nice. And there are many other printing shops. Of course, if you're a photographer, you're probably going to cringe at the idea of printing photos at Staples. But I think for most of us, it does the trick and it does the job. In the past, I've also just used my printer with photo paper. That's what I would have done this year, except my printer has not been set up since I've moved. So to keep it simple, I just sent them off to Staples and they were printed the same day and they were very inexpensive to print. But you could easily, if you have photos in your camera roll, you could print those out. I like to put mine oftentimes in black and white just to create a little more depth with the photo. I think it just creates a different mood and a different vibe than, a typical photo. And give that to somebody that you love. Those are always special, easy gifts to put together that people love to receive. And it feels really good to give that to somebody and just notice how much it warms their heart to receive a gift like that. Okay, so the second gift idea that I had that you can easily put together in an afternoon, this one takes a couple of days because you do need to let it dry depending on the clay that you use, but that is air dry clay stamped ornaments. This is one that my daughter and I made a couple of years ago. We used polymer clay and we went a little too thin with the ornament. As you can see, the tip of the star cracked off. This one has a name stamped into it, which we just used alphabet letter stamps to stamp in these names. The polymer clay is really nice because you could do this in an afternoon because you just put it in the oven, and we baked this for maybe 35, 40 minutes on very low heat, like 200, 250, something like that. And then we just glazed it after. So it would require a couple of hours for that to dry, but you could easily make that in an afternoon. If you're going to use air dry clay, like Crayola even has a really nice brand. It's very soft, very pliable, easy for little kids to use and make the crafts. And to make the ornaments, that you'd probably want at least a day for that to dry, to continue flipping the ornament over and over so that it can dry fully all around each side. I often give personalized ornaments each year, whether it's like a photo, with kids or whatnot on the ornaments. I love to give personalized Christmas tree ornaments. I think that's a really special tradition to start with family. To receive a beautiful new Christmas tree ornament is, in my world, that is a very joyful, meaningful gift. And what's really nice about these is we just used like a cookie, cutter. You can do any shape. You don't even need really any tools other than like a glass or something that you can just make like a shape with it, and then you can stamp anything you like into that shape. So those are really easy, thoughtful gifts that my friends and family have always seemed to enjoy. And what's really nice about that is you can pair it with some of the other gifts that I'm going to share with you, which I will get to in the next one. Okay, so the third gift is, to make or bake something. Lately, I've been really into making these nuts and bolts, and I'll link the recipe below. For the past few years, I have been making these, and I've used Jillian Harris's recipe for nuts and bolts, and I'll make sure to link that. It's actually her nanny who makes these, and they've done a blog post about it. They usually post it on Instagram every year. But this is a really nice treat. I don't eat gluten, so I make a gluten-free version. I do almost everything that the recipe calls for, except I find a gluten-free alternative. This year, I couldn't find the seasoning salt that I like to use, so the flavor didn't turn out quite as good as past years. So you might want to play with this recipe a little bit. I include things that are not a part of the recipe, and I omit things that I couldn't find or I just don't like. But this is a really nice gift. I mean, this works great for like teachers, neighbors, friends. If you have a dinner party and you want to give your guests something to walk away with, this works really great. And I think you can also wrap these on the ones that I've made and sent off to people. I made a little gift tag, and I just had something, a little note on there on what was included. But it's also cute. You could easily pair, if you made an ornament, a Christmas tree ornament, and pair it on the gift wrapping for some of the baked goods, or, like I said, if you're making nuts and bolts. Sometimes I do make baked goods, not too often, but sometimes I do. Lately, I've just been sticking with the nuts and bolts, and I like it because you can make a really big batch and people seem to like it. And then you can just throw it in the freezer. I haven't done this yet, but apparently you can just throw it in the freezer and it still comes out and it's fine. You can still use it, so you can keep it fresh that way. I think it's just something really cozy that people can put in a tray and watch a Christmas movie, have a glass of wine or a cup of tea. They can share it with friends and family. If they don't love the gift, they can always put it out for others to be shared and enjoyed. It's fairly cost effective. You're pretty much just buying things like cereal. You don't have to include nuts. When I'm giving it to certain people with kids, I usually omit the nuts because kids and nut allergies, but it's not an overly expensive thing to put together, and it's something you can easily make in an afternoon. You just have to allow enough time for everything to cool. In the past years as well, this year was the first year that I put them in bags. I thought this was an easier way to package because I don't have a lot of storage in this home and I didn't want to be storing mason jars, but in the past I've used mason jars and that has always turned out really beautiful as well. It looks so beautiful when you gift it to somebody. And yeah, it's just a nice little treat that I look forward to every Christmas. Okay, so the next one that I want to share with you is one of my favorites as well. It's framed kids art, and this can really be any art. I have done my own art. I don't have an example here to show you right now, but I have made little florals and collages, and I've put them in frames. Sometimes I'll use my handwriting and just write something like a scripted word or like an affirmation, and I'll include it on the canvas, usually a piece of paper where I've made the art, and I'll frame it, and those are always really beautiful. If you have kids, of course, kids framed art is always very cute. I have lots of framed art. This is from my son's sketchbook, but you could just take any piece of art and you could put it in a frame. You could actually, one cute idea as well is you can now buy the frames where you just drop a piece of art. They're like 8.5 by 11 size or probably any size. And you can just drop your kids' art into the frame. And that could be a really cute gift for grandma or grandpa or an aunt or an uncle where you give them this gift and then every year you send them a new piece of kids art or a few pieces that they can rotate. But I just think this is so cute. And you don't have to include the whole art piece. Sometimes my kids just do scribbles and just tearing off a corner of a scribble could be enough to include in a frame. And it looks cute and it's meaningful. Again, it's not about having the biggest, most elaborate gift. Sometimes it's really just about the moment itself and the energy that it creates for somebody else, the feeling that it creates for somebody else, you know? So that's, for me, that is the most important thing. To me, that's what gift giving is all about. It's about a feeling that I want others to have when I give those gifts. It makes me feel good and I love being able to offer that to somebody else. Okay, so my next meaningful gift idea that you can do in an afternoon, which looks so beautiful and it smells so amazing, is a winter or a holiday simmer pot, or another way of saying it is calling it like a natural potpourri. And what I did here was I dried a bunch of citrus fruits. I had grapefruit, I had oranges and limes. This is really great, honestly, if you have some fruits that are in your fridge that are on their way out and you're not sure what to do with them. You could use apples, you could use citrus. I put cranberries in here as well. I dried some fresh rosemary, I don't know if you can see, and I put some bay leaves. For me, because I was shipping these as well across the country, most of my family live in Eastern Canada, I made these. I didn't want anything to go moldy or to rot, so I dehydrated everything. You don't have to dehydrate, especially this would make it even faster. You could do this all fresh. You could include the fresh ingredients. You could put it in a mason jar, make sure it's sealed very well, and then you could give it to someone that you're going to be seeing relatively quickly. So you could make this on Christmas Eve or on the 23rd and give it to somebody on Christmas Day. Or if you're going to be seeing somebody, I think gifts like this are also really great. We have a lot of friends. If you're going out for lunch or brunch and meeting somebody over the holidays, these are always really nice to have on hand. You can grab one. Again, you could do something if you had made some extra Christmas tree ornaments, you could attach a Christmas tree ornament to it, a cute little note. In the ones that I gifted, cute little gift tags to go on here. I let people know that these were simmer pots and what the instructions were to using it. So all you would do is when you gift this is you put it together and somebody would put it in a pot on the stove with 3 to 4 cups of water, and they would just let the aroma fill the air. And it's gives off a beautiful Christmassy, holiday, wintry vibe. This is a really nice gift for somebody who is sensitive to scents or synthetic scents. I do have a few candles around, but I make sure that they're very low scented. They're not too fragrancy because I can't handle it. My kids also are very sensitive. So something like this is really nice for people who are very sensitive to scents, but like that aroma in the air. Again, it's the gift that kind of just keeps on giving. People can reuse these by adding water. Once the water starts to get low in the pot, they can just add more water. Very cheap, very easy to put together. If you're going to dehydrate it, you will want probably a day or two before you're going to give these. Depending on how thick you cut the citrus, your dehydration time, I did mine in the oven. It took 4 to 5 hours. But a very beautiful gift. It looks very festive and it just smells really, I can smell it now with the rosemary. And you can add anything you want. That's the other thing. There's no right or wrong to this. You can do anything that you want. If you have other herbs or things that you want to add and include, go for it. It's just a really beautiful gift. Okay, so my next gift idea that's very easy to put together is a tea for one pouch, or I guess it could even be a tea for two. So this is all I needed to get here. Most of the things I already had on hand, but I got these mesh little bags from a store called Michael's here in Canada. And you could get this at the dollar store too, I'm sure. But what I've done is I've put in like 4 different herbal teas. I've got some chamomile, I've got some mandarin orange, and a nighttime blend. And then I added some sweets and some toffee or taffy. I'm never sure how to call it, but some of that in there. And then I love, these are really cute. I don't know if you can see that, but these are honey sticks. So people can just add honey to their tea if they like a little sweetener. These are Canadian pure honey, Canadian made. I'll leave the link to this particular honey below, but it's 100% pure honey and looks really cute. In the ones that I gifted, again, I added a cute little tag. And the way that I view a gift like this is it's just giving somebody a moment to pause. I created this gift. I put everything that's included in here, and then I also included a face mask. So I could see somebody using this, pulling it out, having a cup of tea, putting on a face mask, or enjoying a bath, having one of their mints, and there's just being like a little moment over the holidays or any time that they can just kind of sit back, pause. And I think it just is a good gift for maybe a teacher or a neighbor, or again, like a friend or somebody. It's really for anybody. But sometimes we want to thank people in our life, and there's so many people that we want to let them know that we care, but it's impossible to get things for everybody. So something like this, again, is very inexpensive. It's very easy to put together. I have all of these items on hand. So if I'm going somewhere and I think, oh, I'd like to bring somebody a little gift, a little something, I can easily put one of these together. Just put a little Christmas bow on there or a little Christmas ribbon, and it looks so beautiful, super cute, super thoughtful. You can add anything you like. I actually have another one too where I have chai tea and I have some cinnamon sticks that I include. So you could really make this into whatever you like. If you want to get super fancy and you have a little extra in the budget, you could get a cute little mug, and this could go inside the mug, and that would be really sweet to give somebody too. Okay, so the final meaningful gift that I have for you, the final idea is just giving somebody a meaningful experience. So something that I've done in the past and that I like to do is you can easily make or print like a gift certificate that is good for maybe a spa day or a back rub or a candlelit dinner for two. You could create a meaningful experience for somebody in your life that is a slow morning together with coffee and pastries, no plans on the schedule, just a quiet morning sitting together, maybe doing some crafting or whatever it is that you like to do. If you have kids, you could put together a certificate that gives them maybe a yes day or an experience together. A day where you take them sledding, or you create a movie on the beach day where you set up a blanket and you have snacks and you're sitting on the floor watching a movie together. Just making it unique and special for somebody, putting in a little thought and effort behind it can really go a long way. You can use this idea in so many ways. If you like, I have created a gift certificate that you could print out. You can type in the names of the people that you want to give it to, what the experience is for. I've left a link below. I have a template that you can either print out and handwrite it in, or you can type it in to fit your own needs. But you can just grab that below for free if you want to create that for somebody. I think this could also be a great gift to if you want to maybe offer some babysitting services or some house cleaning or something for somebody in your life. There's so many ways that you could use this gift. These gifts cost very little, but these are the kinds of gifts that are remembered long after the holidays, which I think is what makes them so special and brings us so much joy to be able to give to somebody. Okay, so that wraps up this week's video, the holiday meaningful gift guide of 2025. If you guys like this video, then I will consider putting something together next year with a little more time, like I said, to kind of show you some of the other meaningful gifts that I like to do and gift year after year, or things that I've done in the past that have been received very well with family and friends that just take a little more time to put together. But I just want you to remember that a meaningful gift is not about the money you spend. It's not about how big it is. It's not about it being the most elaborate thing. It is really about the thought and the intention behind it. And most importantly, it's the way that you make someone feel. It's the way that you feel when you give that gift to somebody. If you are going to try any of these ideas this holiday season, I would love to hear about it. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these ideas is the most exciting for you, or one that you think you might like to try. Or if you have other meaningful gift ideas that you have done in the past that have worked really well, or that are easy to put together, that feel special and meaningful, please share them in the comments below. I would love to hear your ideas, and I'm sure other people would love to hear them too. Again, I'll leave the links to the recipes that I mentioned in this video for the nuts and bolts and the certificates that you can print out and customize for your own family and friends in the description below. I wish you and your loved ones so much peace and prosperity over the holidays and beyond, well into the new year. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again next time.